Hello guys and welcome to this beautiful deck rundown of CHERNADOGs, which I managed to get a champion mat back to back. I don't have the second mat right now because I gave it to my girlfriend and she took it with her and now she's at home. So I just have one mat to display, but I have proved I've won both tournaments back to back. I won the first one on Saturday in a 18-man set champs, 5 rounds into top 8 cut, and the second tournament was also it was a 17 players set champs, also 5 rounds in the top 8 cut. And yeah, I played almost the exact same list on both days, so this is basically how I ran it. And I played multiple matchups. So on Saturday I almost only played Ember Steel. It was the aggro variant, the tournament winning list and stuff. And on Sunday I played Blurple, I played Ruby Amethyst, I played Discard, like all of different decks. And in the top 8, and what was so special on Sunday was I played every single match on the draw. I played the first round on the draw, the second round I got a bye, third round on the draw, fourth, fifth, and in the whole top card I was playing on the draw and I only dropped one game. So this is like my deck list. Oh, actually, I didn't drop a game because I'll be honest with you, on Sunday we played, I don't know how to describe it in English, but it was my teammate in the finals. So we just played rock, paper, scissors, who wins the match. So it was just for my girlfriend anyway. So it's definitely like a set chance win and back-to-back finals. I can describe it like this. And a somewhat not too small set champs. So yeah, let me start with the list. And the first one is for Merfolk's Curse Merfolk. Why? Because it's just a very strong one drop. It has to be removed. It's bad against steel, but against every other matchup it's really strong. People don't want to remove it, especially in the early game. They want to keep their hands, especially control players like red blue. This card is devastating. So if you have many Merfolks in play, especially red blue, they have like barely any card draw anymore and every card for them counts. So if they're forced to discard anything, it's really bad for them. So Merfolk is just really good, and it's a double quester, of course. Coming to the, well, mainly like third most important card in this deck is Susie. And Susie is just an MVP in so many instances. He can make like a very strong turn 2 play. So basically if you are on the play and you play her and you have Tramp and a 1-drop in hand, which is very often the case, you on turn 2 you just ink something, you play a 1-drop, and then you play Tramp for 1 because that's his effect if he has a Susie's in play. And Susie gets 1+ strength for every character that is played, so she gets 2 strength already for 2 characters in play. And the Tramp also gives 1+ strength for every other character in play, so Susie has 4 strength on turn 2, and when she has 3 or more strength she quests for free. So you can basically quest for free on turn 1. And for example, if you play against Blurple, who didn't start with Bell, this is like a perfect start. Like questing for free on the second turn is a really insane start, and it's a big tempo play. So, and I often got to pull off this combo. It's not so hard. Next we got 3 Little Johns. Why 3? It's yeah, we don't have space for more. It's a very strong 0/4 body, and if you play against steel, always keep this card in your hand. When I know I play against steel, I just mulligan the Merfolks away because they are just, they're dead too often. And I just keep the Susie, I keep the Little Johns, and also keep the Nalas because yeah, 0/4 body, very hard to remove. And even if you leave, like, they're perfect to challenge into bodies like Belle, Gaston, anything, that has like 2 strength at least, like a rabbit or something, and they survive, they get damage on it, and they're a perfect Rapunzel target. That's basically the only reason why you play it. If Rapunzel gets rotated out, you can basically replace his cards with 1 free 1-drops, because they do basically the same, but you have like 1 strength more. And this 1 strength on some characters could be very useful, especially if you want some sufficient Tomago targets. Speaking of Tomago, she will be the card after the most important 1-drop, and it's called Daisy. It's just the best Ember card right now. Seems like after rotation it will be the best Ember card. And yeah, basically this card is insane if you have it, because it's a 1/4 body, hard to remove, and a double quester. And it's also very good if the enemy has it, because we barely play any actions. We play 57 characters, so Daisy almost always hits. So when enemy Ember Steel player starts with Daisy, and they always love to start with Daisy, you get new cards in your hand. And this deck, especially CHERNADOG, is so reliant on one extra hand card. And that's why this deck is so strong on the draw. So this one additional card that you get like 99% of the time with Daisy Duck is so huge. And I always love to see Daisy in the enemy team. And smart Ember Steel players, like in my local LGS, everybody knows that like the Ember Steel players always lose against me, but they always know they can play Daisy against me, which locks them out of a very strong run drop. But if they play Daisy and quest with it, yeah, it's basically giving me another card which they want to avoid at any cost. Next we have Tomago. This is like the MVP to close out games. He can put on the discard, and he can be brought back with Susie. Especially, for example, if you discard Tomago after a wheel and you bring it back with Susie and the big Susie, and she quests, and then she gets attacked by Yago, and then the next turn you play Tomago for lore. That happened really, really often. Most players, not really against Sapphire, but we have no removal for Yago in this deck, and it's a big threat. But at the same time, Yago gets stacked with damage, and Tomago is a perfect target for characters like Yago or Elsa, who has a lot of willpower and often will stack damage against us. So yeah, Tomago is always the MVP. I top decked him sometimes. I even have a video of it, where I top decked a Tomago on a Yago, and he had like 4 damage on it. So it's really, really good. And he can also be empowered with the Small Tramp. The Small Tramp is a great card because it's a 1/3 body, and he can be played for 1 if a lady is in play. In German it's called Susie, but in English it's called lady. He can be played for 1 if a lady is in play, and if he's played, he gives one of my characters +1 strength for every other character I have in play. So it's not really rare that I play like Tramp, and my Susie all of a sudden, like the 1-drop Susie, has 8 strength. It happened quite often, especially with CHERNADOG. It's a very unique playstyle. It's an aggro deck, but it's a very unique and complicated aggro deck. You cannot play like a traditional aggro player with this deck, like starting the game and instantly quest and stuff. No, it's exact opposite. You need to wait and then like pull off explosive turns with like 10, 12 lore all at once. That's like the perfect start. And Tramp does help to clear a little bit in the early game, especially against Ember Steel, who don't have any evasives. He survives a storm. And yeah, he's just really strong. At least he's a 1 strength, and he gives like 1+ strength to any character. And so often I used it, for example, to boost up a Nala to like 5 strength and all of it, or 6 strength. And all of a sudden, my 0/4 Nala kills a big Robin Hood. And I think it happened in a Ravensburg tournament as well, where a Ursula killed a Robin Hood champion of Sherwood with 6 strength or something. It looked ridiculous, but it's even sweeter when it happens. Speaking up to a very important removal card, Ursula. If you take out Ember Steel, like classic Steel Song, if you take out Whole New World, they are basically defenseless. When they use up all their songs, they're like out of gas completely. They're so reliant on Whole New World. If you take it out, or if you take out Grab Your Sword, it's basically game over for the classical Steel Song player. And if you play against Ember Steel aggro and you take away Let a Storm Rage on or Zeus, they lose so much value, especially if you take away the Storm Rage on. They lose a big card, and they get out of gas very quickly. So Ursula is just great, and on top of that, you get information. Even if Ursula doesn't hit, you know exactly what's coming up to you, and you know exactly if you can quest or not. So this card is just really, really good for information. It's like, it hurts that she will be rotating out right now, but nonetheless, she was very, very helpful in most instances. Another card that will be rotating out is basically Finn Rider. Does the same as Merfolk. Disturbs the enemy, lets him discard something. I experienced so often that enemies dislike to challenge this card, and yeah, that's basically why he's in. I tagged him in on Sunday. On Saturday, I was playing Sir His because it was a evasive character. It was very good against Red Blue because he doesn't get like pissed away by Big Sisu, and he can be like traded into a Big Sisu. Big Sisu survives with a free damage, and then you can put like a Tomago next turn or a Tomago immediately after it. So Ceres was very useful for that, but I figured out against steel, obviously Ceres is really useless. So yeah, this card is like more useful against Ruby Amethyst, for example. Ceres was especially useful against the red blue, but not so useful against any other matchup. And Flynn Rider basically covers more matchups for me, so he was really good. But he can be replaced by Zombie Lilo anytime. Now Invited to the Ball. This is a card that most players don't even know that it exists. It's a very, very strong card draw, and we only play 3 actions in the whole deck. So the chance that this card hits another action is close to 0. I actually calculated it, and is about 8%. So this card is like, but some players may ask me, but which curve do you put this card in? Well, I keep it in hand when I see it in a mulligan very often, and on turn 3, you just play it on turn 3. You get 2 new cards, ink something, and then you play another 1-drop, and you have like 3 characters at least on the board. So it's perfect. I love it. I love Inviting to the Ball. Great card. I would recommend putting it in 2 or 3 times, but at least 2 times for sure. Next we have Free Ladies. Yeah, great card, but for me, she's more often than not just a shift target, and yeah, I just don't see so much value in her because there was so much steel running around. So in steel matchups, I will rarely keep her. Often I mulligan her away, even against Ruby Amethyst. I just feel like, yeah, she's better if you draw into her and you still have a target that she's there. That way she's way better. I will still keep 4 copies next set for her, simply because she's a lady and she has a very useful effect in the end. But as of right now in set 8, I don't think she was that helpful at much, but she was still necessary as a shift target and for multiple reasons. She's very useful when she can cheat out a 2nd drop, like a 2-drop, like an Ursula. Then she's very useful, or like a Tramp. But besides that, she felt like a bit underwhelming. A card that wasn't so underwhelming is Kid Cloud Kicker. I started with like 1 copy of it, added like another 2. And this card is great on slowing down Diablo players. This card is great on slowing down Piglets, getting it off the field, getting off Dinos off the field before they shift, like if they miss like early shift or something. It's great for slowing down the enemy. It's great for, yeah, having as a body on the field. But Kid is like, in many instances, an MVP for me. And he has a promo card, very beautiful. Speaking of MVP, this card was the MVP. On Sunday, in my top 8 cut, I won 2-0 on the draw against Ruby Amethyst, and this card was clutch in both games. Basically, I saw it after the mulligan, or when I first drew my hand, I saw it both times, kept it, and then I had many 1-drops. I played it out, started the wheel, and then it was my last card in hand. And before, like, it was my last card in hand, and it was the opponent's turn, and he sang Friends. I had 2 daisies on field, so I drew for turn, inked the card that I drew. I had 2 daisies, I used them both, and I hit 2 targets. So my enemy had like 7 cards, and then I played it, and I drew 7 more cards. And it was basically game over for him at this point. So, like, I had a full board full of aggressive questers, and then I had like 8 cards the next round. So this card is so good. No one knows this card even exists. It's like the Clarabella effect. Like, people have Rapunzel on their mind. Like, people play around Rapunzel every time. That's why this card sucks. And that's why I only have 3 copies of it in it. Everybody knows, oh, Rapunzel turn 4, I cannot challenge recklessly and stuff. And don't get me wrong, Rapunzel is a great card in Ember Steel. Because in Ember Steel, you can put damage on your own characters. You can sing Storm. Like, for example, if you have Pete in play, and the next turn you sing Storm on himself, ink the card you drew, and then you play Rapunzel to heal up your Pete. And that's like a guaranteed Rapunzel trigger. Even if the enemy doesn't do anything, you can get out of value out of Rapunzel in Ember Steel. You don't have that chance in Ember Emerald. So if your opponent is smart, and more often than not, your opponent is very smart, everybody knows this card exists. Everybody knows Ember players play this card. So it's very easy to play around it. Just don't put damage on enemy characters recklessly. I won a round in Ravensburg because someone forgot it. Basically, I had 1 less card in hand. I only had a Lawrence in my play, and he put 3 damage on Lawrence, and I was like, yeah, thank you for the win. This card is like high risk, high reward. If you can cheat it out, and it happens more often than not, you get like at least 3-4 cards. And I wouldn't recommend it using it on the play. If you have it on the play, it's risky, more risky than not. If you have it on the play, I would mulligan the Murphox away because I don't want them enemies to discard. I want to have more cards. If you have it on the play, additionally with some daisies and with kits and stuff, bro, this card is brutal, really. The enemy has like 10 billion cards in hand, and when you're out of gas, you cheat it out, and boom, 8 more. Great card. Rapunzel not so great. I'm not so sad she's rotating out. So because we have a very great replacement card. One of those replacement cards is Susie, in that case, Lady. Lady has a beautiful effect. She can, when played out, she can recycle 2 characters that cost 2 or less from your discard back to your hand. So a Tramp that has died comes back. Tomago that has died comes back. Merfolk, daisies, so often I got 2 daisies back from discard, they come back. It's basically like you have playing 6 daisies or something. It's such a great card. Unfortunately, she's very bricky. She's an unink 5 cost. So, but next set, I'm not so worried anymore because like the biggest brick in this deck, this motherfucker here, I'm sorry, this moron right here, the biggest brick in the deck is falling out, so you can play more ladies. And she almost always have value. Even if you just cheat out 1 character back from discard, it's still useful. Coming back to the best card against Ember Steel, Cricky. This one rotating out really hurts because so often I kept him in my starting hand when I saw him before the mulligan against Ember Steel. And when I played it on turn 5, after like a Piglet was exerted, a Daisy was exerted and stuff, I actually played him in one video on my channel against Ember Steel. And it was after a wheel, so it was perfect. And I played him and I gave my Tramp, my big Tramp, 3 additional strength, and he was a 5-6 after that. And he could like take out the Pluto after this and still be alive. And you know, if you give like an Ursula +3, she can take out a Daisy. If you give like an Ala +3, she can take out a Piglet and still survive. It's an amazing card, I love it. Cricky is so good. Sad he will be rotating out. I need to find a replacement card for it though. Speaking of, the second best card, this bro was my MVP in top 4. I cheated him out very early, and this is also a card nobody knows this card exists. Like almost no good player has practiced against CHERNADOGs, so most people know this card exists, but they don't really think of it when playing against CHERNADOGs. They think about Rapunzel, they think about Wheels or something like this. Nobody thinks about this card. It's great. If you like next set, I will have more space for more Tramp shift targets. I will play 4 copies of it for sure. Basically, build up your board until turn 4, and in turn 4, you just play him out, and then you quest with every other character, and you just leave him. Steel players have no chance of removing him. This bro has 8 willpower, 8. So Steel players have no damn chance of removing him. And on top of that, he's at least a 2 strength, so he can challenge in, you know, if needed. And he was a great Rapunzel target sometimes. Because, you know, if he's on the field and you challenge my board, you need to exert your characters. So, yeah, he was amazing. Against Burple, he was amazing. Against Ruby Amethyst, he was amazing. I had him on the field, and the opponent Ruby Amethyst player was playing Big Sisu, and they cleared my entire board, and I drew 6 cards. Because even if he gets banished, you get another card. So his effect basically targets himself as well. Amazing. I love him, and I would definitely play a 4th copy of him in the upcoming set. Coming down the last 6 cards, it's Big Tramp, the most important card by far, because he allows you to wheel. He's a 2-6, and he can be played out on turn 4. At the earliest, like turn 3. Nah, at the earliest, turn 4. But he's amazing. You can basically like put all the cards in your hand that you need. He can minimize the luck factor, and he's just so good in, yeah, I basically use him in every matchup. Against Ember Steel, he's good. Against Blurper, he's good. Against Ruby Amethyst, he's good. And like every player, especially the red players, if they have Brawl in hand, they use Brawl on, you know, something like Daisy or Zuzi, and they don't think of this big guy here. So yeah, great card. Not so great is CHERNADOG. I love that this card is rotating out. You're like man, you're crazy. Like this whole deck is called CHERNADOGs. Like, why would you like want CHERNADOG to rotate it out? On Saturday, I had I counted 5 instances where I needed to draw a inkable card desperately, and this motherfucker came in my hand. I had like a free game. My opponent's Steel Song player was bricking his ass off, and these 2 morons came in my hand after mulligan. I was pissed. I still won the game because my enemy bricked 10 times harder than me, but I don't want to see this card ever again in my hand. I was thinking on cutting this card to 1 on Sunday because it was so obnoxious. Like, CHERNADOG for this deck is more of a side quest than a like win condition. It's a side quest, and if this guy is out, even if he gets reprinted, there's no way I'm playing 2 copies of it. 1 copy max. And yeah, as I said, he's a very good side quest. If you can cheat him out, nice. And he won me my semifinals game for sure. Like, I cannot say that CHERNADOG is like the worst card ever, but it's sometimes more useless than useful. But on my game 2 and semifinals, he basically won me the game because I was at 17 lore, my opponent was at 19, and he had to remove my CHERNADOG or he would lose the game. And there was no chance for him to remove him. So if I hadn't had CHERNADOG in that game, I would have lost in the top 4. So it was very, very great to have him at least at that moment. But more often than not, he's bricking my ass, and I can't really play him. You can't even play him after the first wheel, because after the first wheel, you often discard like 4 or 5 cards max. So, and then after your quest, maybe then you can cheat him out. But sometimes it's even too late now. He comes out at the 5th turn at the earliest. So yeah, if you got him too early, it's just a terrible card. So yeah, that's for my deck profile for CHERNADOG. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope it wasn't too long. If you want a deeper explanation of matchups, I will definitely upload some new videos. I played a total of 5 set champs with this deck, and I topped 3 of them. Like, I had top card in 3 or 4 out of 5 set champs, and I won the Jafar card in 4 out of 5 set champs. So basically I was top 8 in 4 out of 5. One tournament it was just 13 players. That's when I got in the finals the first time. Second tournament was 15 players, so still a top 4 card. I was 7th place in that. Basically, it was the first set champs of the season, and I just wanted to secure the card, but it was a mistake to draw in the 3rd round. And yeah, could have definitely get into the top card. I had the best setup for this. Like, I was 2-1, and I shouldn't just have drawn in the 4th round. It was just a terrible decision. And yeah, I just got 14 in a 24 tournament the next week, and then I got back-to-back championships in a 17 and 18 players set champs. So I will definitely play this deck for Bologna. It's great, especially basically nobody plays, although it's so good, and I love this deck on the draw. I won my Sunday tournament, every single match on the draw. It's amazing. Won me 2 mats. Thanks for watching. I love this deck, and if you want to play CHERNADOGs, just subscribe to my channel. I'll be uploading a lot of new CHERNADOG stuff in the future. Thanks you for watching, and see you.